Hi there, welcome. Second. This has a purpose, just in the way of drinking some tea, and I just thought I would show you. So I have no secret roommate here, some special guest, but it's always, for me, it's a tradition. I just pour 2 cups. Because tea, for me personally, it's highly communicative. You drink tea a lot with friends and have awesome talks about whatever the world, philosophy, coding, whatever. And this is why I have 2 cups filled, but I just drink out of 1. In the end, I will not throw nothing away. You know me. But that's so a wonderful cup of tea. It's the Silver Sword. I could show you quickly. Sorry, the autofocus is not working properly. But you can read it. Silver Sword. Coming from the Hubei province in China. Gudang Mountain. Yeah, great. That's really great. Okay, now let's start. Put this to a side. Drink tea afterwards. And let's get going. So today's topic is about command line tools. Command line tools are an easy way to just share your work, and you have all seen that. Let me show that to you. For example, if you have a CMD and you type ipconfig, yada, you get the help. You get the parameters, you get everything what you need, how to deal with the program. We will be doing something quite similar in this tutorial video, but far more interesting than ipconfig, of course. We will be doing a cryptocurrency price fetcher. Isn't that awesome? So you type any cryptocurrency you want in there and you will get your price. Now, and we want to do that with a command line. So let's get started. So what I did here was just creating a new folder, namespace tutorial, having the usual suspects in it, the py, and now first things first, I want to create a new file. Let's call that crypto price fetcher. It's not actually the price, it's an exchange rate because you have Bitcoin in euro, US dollar, whatever. But yeah, let's keep with that. Now we have the file. Now, first things first, if name equals, oopsie, equals in. So this is just that the program knows if it's executed, what should it do. So we want to cover here the main method, which we did not describe yet. The main method. This is done here. Main. All right. Now, what we want to do, let's say, for example, what we want to do is we want to print a header, right? Program starts. Seems reasonable to just start a header. Okay, now header. Let's just call that print or header. Now we have to define this, right? So def print underscore header. What should we do here? It's always a good idea to just state at the top of a method what this method does. Method. It's called functions in Python. What a function does. So this prints the header. Alright, so this should print. What should it print? I like to do something with the rich print line so that you have a bit more. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I just want to something like crypto price fetcher. Alright, and if this is done like this, how could we start it? It's properly defined, should work. Just saved it, that's what this formatting was. Now how to start it? Terminal, new terminal. And if it doesn't start here, happens to me all the time, It's view, editor layout, no, appearance, move panel. Yeah, it's not here yet, but yeah. This is the way I like things organized. Alright, how to start this? I want to go into the parent folder, and now Python as -m for module, but in this case it's not necessary, but it's a good practice. And we want to go into namespace tutorial dot, and unfortunately this cannot autocomplete, but crypto price fetcher. Sure. Good work. See? It's not that pretty. Let's make it a little bit more pretty. And this from rich import print. This is pretty cool. Let me show you quickly what this is doing. Rich print. In a minute. Colors. Whatever. We will be covering just a little bit of it, but let's go. If you have rich print here, or from rich, you have imported print, then you can do something like line and slash. Don't ever do a backslash here. So underline and slash underline. Now let's run it again. Pretty rich. All right, now this was just messing around. Now the real stuff, right? So we have to go and fetch some arg value. But before doing that, let me just quickly copy and paste something in here, which is not really the topic of this video, but we want to have a method or a function to get our price action, right? We want to give a crypto identifier, and we want to get our exchange rates. And this is I will not cover that really in this, or not live code it in this session, but it just rather printed in here. But I will explain that to you or go through this program once. Now you can see it here. Have function is called get crypto price in euro, and that's completely wrong. Get crypto exchange rate. That's a lot better. You have an identifier and you're getting back a float. This is the exchange rate. So not really that. Fetches the current exchange rate on an open API. And let's see how this is doing. Returns price. All right. I will just change that. Exchange rate. So, all right. Identifier is the identifier dot upper. That means that if you're giving me lowercase letters, it's transferring that to uppercase letters because the identifier is given in uppercase letters. And now you have a response equals requests dot get, and now you have an f string where the identifier you give as a value here is put into the URL. And we will see what this does in a minute, but let's quickly let my soul rests. I'm not bothering with camera style here, but okay. Now you have your URL requests.get gets the response, and you try to make a float out of it. If that's not possible, you have an error and you give an exception and return. Okay, so far so good. Now what is this? Now if you switch over, here is the documentation for the API. You can read about this all along. But if you just post something like this, Bitcoin to euros here, this is one URL, and this will get you this Bitcoin to euro exchange rate, and this is the last trade. Oh, it's going up again. That's great. Let's just refresh it because we like to do that. Now at 50,157 euros. Oh my god. It's really great. Yeah, it's going up like crazy. All right, but back to the coding. You have your method here, and what this is doing, it caches. It caches the values. It's not that important because we want to do that. If you want to do that multiple times, then the caching value is great. But let me see if I have to. Yeah, we have to import something for that. So we will do that right away. This is this. So if you want to learn more about caching and how this works, just Google LRU cache and you will find it. And yeah, can learn about this. Now, everything else, no, I guess. Okay, now this is the method we want to use here, but the juicy part, this tutorial, is about how to parse your arguments, how to get the command line arguments from your user. And this we will bundle in a method, args equals parse args, and you have nothing in here. So this is a method we want to use. This, I will put that just at the def parse args. This is our method. And first things first, describe the method. Now what you can do there, what you can write here is parses the arguments from something like this. And also, what does it return? Returns just to make it look nice. Those are args, which are argparse.namespace. What this is, I will be covering in just. Okay, it gives back a argparse.namespace, which is the parsed arguments. All right, that's about it. Now let's go coding. Parser equals argparse dot argparse. Let's see, and the description is description of the program, and give that but whatever we want. This is a Python script. Fetch a crypto exchange rate. The current one. Now we have to import that, right? So we just import argparse. And this is more or less the whole topic of this video, argparse. Let me show that to you. So argparse, you can Google that, you find this page. Argparse, parser, command line options, arguments, subcommand. And here see the example. So what we did here was this line, parser equals argparse.argument parser. And we have a description here. And now we want to add an argument because we want to have our identifier. So this is the next thing I will be doing here, right? So going back here, we have the parser. Now parser.add argument. I'm a little bit confused why it's not giving me that. Do I have a parser? We will see that it's not running correctly. Now, the first thing what you want to have here is the name, and here it's the identifier. I want to call it identifier, so it's a choice. Identifier, and then we have the type of the variable. In this case, it will be a string. And we have the help text, which is, for example, this is the crypto identifier, which find and is used in the API for fetching the exchange rate. Okay, now we have our argument set here. Okay, the next thing, we have an error, right? Why is that? Unable to import Argparse. That's correct, that's not available. Okay, now we have it. No errors. Oh, a little bit here. Requests. Ah, we don't have imported requests. So good. Request. And gone. All right, now we are error free. Okay, now we have added the argument to it. So we have an identifier which the user has to give, which is our crypto identifier. Now, what do we do with users which do not give us any argument? And there's a pretty easy way of giving a help. So if len of sys.args, argv, or sys for that, or sys, if the len, the length of this list, of the arguments in the system, if that's below 2, are you wondering why 2? One is, come to that in a minute. Parser.print help. Yeah. Print help, and we want to exit with code 0. Now, this is doing, so if the user is not giving any argument, why is that 2? Let's jump over to this argv. See that if you have your number of arguments, whatever, the first argument is the file. So it has to be at least 2 if you have any argument in here. Because the file is the first argument, and then come the additional command line arguments. And that's about it. Now, okay, so we have this help. And this is okay for that. So we have parse arg. So this will get in here. How is this? Ah, we don't have defined a return value. That's not good. So we want to give back a argparse namespace. Yeah, we have to, for sure, we have to return parser dot parse args, that's a method, and we want to have the sysargv. But we don't want to have the first, here's the file, don't want that. So we have 1 to the end of the list. So we're skipping the 0 index, so the first value gets skipped. It's starting with the second one, which is in our numbering, it's the first. And that's about it for this method. So we have now the args. And now we can get our exchange rate. So exchange rate equals get crypto exchange rate. Now we have to give the identifier. We go to the args and we want to have the identify. Why is it not showing? Should be showing. Added a argument as identifier. Okay, let's see. Should work. But I'm a little bit confused why it's not showing here as a value. Yes, args equals parse args. That's good. And then should be good as well. But we will see about this. Never perfect. Fire. Okay. Now we want to print it first. But the price could be none as we have an exception, right? Here's the exception, exchange rate cannot be calculated. And what is this? This is wrong. Should be like this. That was some mistake because I think I have thought it would be price, but it's print, should be print. Okay, now we have an error here, right? And it prints that it's not finding any not finding any exchange rate. And that's why we have to come up for that here. So if exchange rate, sorry. Exchange. Oh, another typo. Exchange rate with an N. So if the exchange rate is not none, then I want to have, so let me talk about this. What's an identifier? You saw that here with my bitrex here. I didn't show that. So yeah, I did. So this is a sample exchange rate, Bitcoins and Euros. So we want to have Bitcoin and Euro because I want to tell the customer or the user that your Bitcoin is worth yada yada euros. So I have to split it here. This is nothing special, but it's good practice. So if the exchange rate is not none, then I want to let's call that crypto from equals args.identifier. Oh, it's working. All right. Args.identifier dot split, and I split it with the dash. I want to have the first element in this list. This is crypto from, crypto to, you guessed it. It's the second element of this list. All right, and now I can print something like that. Print, and let's use my favorite new kind of toy here. You have strings. So your crypto darling, and what is? We have the curly brackets. Now we can use the crypto from, and it will insert whatever the user has given here as verb. Now we have to have the exchange rate. One. And another crypto is, can be not a crypto, but it could be a crypto. Well, naming is not that good here, but great with the small r here. That's not good. Yeah, bothers me. I'm sorry, but you know, you have your things here. Should be beautiful. Camel case is beautiful. Now I think if I did not make any stupid errors, which of course I did, we should be good. Now let's see how to start this, right? So I want to have this command as I did, and I'm sorry I did not show the last part. But it was boring anyway, so I just go through that. I'm sorry. So we have exchange rate. Yeah, we did that. And if the exchange rate is not none, this is crypto from, this is crypto to. And then I printed the f string here with your crypto darling is worth something like this. Okay, I'm sorry, that was my mistake. I didn't see, I didn't change the thing here, but you didn't miss anything. So it's here. Now I want to start it again, and now I want to give something like an exchange, right? So for example, Bitcoin to Euro. Hello, it works. I didn't do any stupid mistakes. I'm astonished. Let's try another one. You can also do Bitcoins in the, I guess. Yeah, no, but yes, our error system works. Let me see if it's the other way around. The other way around could be, let's see. We just don't do Bitcoin Defi, but Defi dash Bitcoin. Yeah, and you have your values here. Now, if you want to make this formatted as with a certain amount of decimals, that's also a good thing here. You can do that right here. Just a colon, then a dot, and then, for example, 2f, which means it's a floating number with 2 decimal places after the dot. All right, let's check that again. And here it's wrong. You see? Okay, maybe it's not such a good idea. Maybe we do like 10, but yeah, I don't know. So maybe just leave it as standard. But you see how you can change the number, the format of the number here. All right, this concludes this tutorial. I will be uploading this to our GitHub in a similar manner that you can check it for yourself and try just play around with it. Maybe you want to give another argument here, for example, the day, and then you have to modify the code here a little bit, how to get the certain day, and this could be a good exercise for you. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, let me know below. We will be happy to answer them. And always happy coding, happy tea drinking, and have a good time. But I forgot to show you one more time how the tea. Here. Okay. Now you see that here. Actually, my friend didn't drink any tea. That's a shame. But we will be making another round of tea. So what you have here is 1 cup. Right? And then you have hot water. Preferable, it's around 70 to 80 degrees. And you just fill this up. And now we wait a little bit and I can jokes or something like that. No, I'm actually terrible at that. But yeah, what do you think about our coding exercise here? It was a fun adventure. It's a simple program, yeah, but it wanted to just tell you the basics of doing a command line argument. You can see yourself doing much more complicated stuff with that, with different help parameters, with different, yeah, we didn't check that out, right? Oh, let's do that, but it's dangerous, it's dangerous. I have to say it's dangerous, because if I start coding, I'm forgetting the time. And then our tea is ruined, which we don't want to have. But let me see if this works. We want to have just a help here. -a. Does this work? Yeah. See? Positional arguments, identifier. This is a crypto identifier. Watch which one we rewrote here. So you can see how to access also the help, and your colleague, your user, your customer can also do that. And I did not forget my tea this time. Great. And let me just make this a little bigger that you can see that. I see. So this is where I pour, but now it's brewing, right? And it's for let me see, like that. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. And each flush, each and every brewing session, yeah, it's different, because also your mouth, and I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry, but it adapts to the taste, and it's not so bitter in the first one. The longer you do that, the bitter it will be. So, yeah, that's a really different topic, but we can talk about that for hours. Okay, now it's poured into here, and now it goes into your drink. That's the whole thing. And in this case, just if you're curious what's underneath here, have different cups. Yeah, so if another friend comes, only have one as well. This is also used to portion the tea and put the tea into the cup. Careful, careful, careful. Now you can see also from the color here that this one was a lot more time in this vessel than this one, because this was the first flush where I just setting the camera up, stuff like that, and then I just a little bit forgot about the time. Yeah, and you have to be careful about this. This will be a bitter end, but yeah, let's enjoy the good one until then. Yeah, and in this case, thanks again for watching. I hope you can also enjoy a cup of tea if you like to. Enjoy the slurping noises I make here. It's a pretty good microphone for slurping noises. But I read that it is also the art. So if you go to China and ask the masters how to drink tea, and you go to the venues, and there are so many ways of drinking tea. It's a whole industry, right? And it's like the same with wine or with coffee. And I read in a book that you have to make a certain slurpy noise to just enjoy the taste fully, because as you're slurping it, you're mixing it with air, and this allows the taste to become more aware in your senses. If I said that correctly, but I'm enjoying that very much. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Thanks for staying around, and I hope you liked it. And if you have any questions, you know what to do. Thanks and goodbye.